Hey, it's the Ian Hairston Show. I'm sitting here with Carla R, and we're about to have a really fun interview in front of the fire. Wow.
It's the Ian Hairston Show. Ian Hairston Show. Entertainment on the go. For everyone you know. It's the Ian Hairston Show.
Hey, welcome to the Ian Hairston Show. Like I said before, I'm here with Carla R. She's guitar extraordinaire. I would say just a musician extraordinaire. Real quick, before the audience who doesn't know, we've known each other since we were children. We kind of grew up together and that sort of thing. One of my favorite memories of you is actually when you got older. I saw you downtown Greensboro, and I think you had a tuba.
Okay.
In your hand, and you were just walking. I don't know where you were walking from. Like if you were walking from, I think you said you just had like a gig or a practice or something like that. And you were walking, and you were trombone.
Yeah, because I did play tuba in the marching Tar Heels, but we didn't get to take those with us. So that's why I thought, okay, that's probably not a tuba.
Yeah, it was a trombone. Yeah, exactly. And you just had it, and you were like, hey, what's going on? And you had your instrument, and I was like, she plays everything. So anyway, hello, Carla. How are you doing?
Sawe and Lingua Latina. Yeah.
Like I was saying, you are a pretty excellent musician. You've been playing music as long as I've known you, and I don't know if this is common among musicians or not, but you can play a lot of different instruments.
Yeah, I think for career musicians, that is something you tend to run across. I don't know very many musicians who play, and I'll just use the word seriously, because sometimes there are a lot of little terms that could offend people about how serious they are about music. It's like, just because I don't make $1 million as it doesn't mean I'm not good at it, you know. And so I'll just say serious. You know, your intentions are serious as a musician, and for adults who are in that category, I don't know any who have only played one instrument. I don't think, And but it's just kind of as you go through your life journey as a person and as a musician and an artist, you kind of settle on something, and guitar was definitely pretty unexpected for me. Completely, because my first contact with guitar was when I was about 6, actually. My childhood was embodied that whole first impression. You know, it was everything, and it was everything. I'm kind of coming full circle, gone to a lot of different places, experiences. College was probably my most expansive experience. I was a music major at UNC Chapel Hill, and that's where the only time in my life where I was really playing all 4 instruments. And but I really, at this point in the last few years of my life, kind of come full circle and gone back to my roots, which was back in the late 80s when MTV actually played music. Exactly. And so I was pretty much hooked on it. My parents, it was a different time than what we live in now, so my parents actually only let me watch TV for about 30 minutes a day. So I didn't get a whole lot of time with it, but I would see artists like Guns N' Roses. What I remember the most, Prince, of course, Michael Jackson, of course. I don't care what kind of deep artistic musician you are. If you grew up in the 80s, you knew who Michael Jackson was, and you probably liked him, okay? And Michael Jackson, just you know, whoever, lots of the most, you know, popular bands, Duran Duran, you know, just whoever was out there. And so that was my first exposure, what just lit this fire that was like, I want to do that. I'm going to do that. I want to do that. You know what I mean? And so my parents actually got me this little kid type guitar. It was real. It had 6 strings. You could tune it, but it wasn't probably an adult guitar, and got me that. And I didn't seriously try to learn it, but I definitely played around with it at that age. And it wasn't until I was 9 that I really started to take formal lessons on piano, though. Piano was actually my first instrument, and that was pure peer pressure. At the after school program I went to at Friendly Avenue Baptist Church, actually right here in Greensboro. Some of my friends would go down at 4 o'clock every day and take piano lessons with one of the church musicians there. And I was like, gosh, I want to do that. They seem really cool. And I would look at their little books, you know, and I was like, gosh, I want to do that too. So I went home and asked my parents, and they reacted, you know, very positively. They got me a piano, which I still, you know, if you look on social media, that's the same piano I'm playing, you know, when I do little clips. Exactly. And so I got started there. I did that for a couple of years, and then I started playing trombone in the school band in middle school. Yeah, exactly. And so did that, as a lot of kids did around here. That's when we start music programs here, is in middle school. And then high school, 14 was when I really started seriously picking up guitar again. I couldn't get too deep into it because I was also teaching myself to play tuba at the same time.
Okay.
So that was kind of that casual exposure, which looking back on it was actually good because I meet a lot of students that I've taught. I've taught adults to high school students, even all the way down to about a 10 or 11-year-old in private lessons. And the thing about it is there's so much popular culture energy that goes into guitar. You know, everybody wants to play guitar.
Right,
you know?
right.
And the thing about it is people don't realize what kind of a journey it really takes to truly get in it and really know it, you know, inside and out. And so people will get discouraged, you know, because they start and it's like, oh, wow, this takes a lot more time than I thought.
Yes, it does.
So I was, yeah, exactly. So I was very, looking back on it, I wasn't doing it on purpose at the time. But see, I spent these 4 years in high school very casually exposing myself to guitars. No pressure. I wasn't trying to start a band. I wasn't trying to be a rock star. I just kind of did that on the side, you know. And so it was pretty cool like that. But see, I got this very comfortable relationship with guitar that didn't have any pressure or competition, you know. So I got to grow gradually. You see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Well, I know you just started a new band because you're down in the ATL normally.
Yes, that's right.
So there's a lot of culture down there just in general as far as I guess like entertainment or artists and that sort of thing. But you just started a new band. Tell me a little bit about your band.
Man, yeah, exactly. Our band is called the Quasars, just like outer space. Yeah. So I'm kind of, you know, it wasn't any kind of literal association. I just like the name. It does rhyme with my name. So Carla R and the Quasars, you know, it's kind of cool. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, but my band members, when it comes to our composition, we're a trio. And so we have bass and drums. And I actually work with two guys who are a little more experienced, a little bit older than me. And I know this is a little unconventional these days to see this kind of mix of generations, you know, but I thought it was a great idea because you know, folks with more experience, even if they don't have the flashy fashion and the whatever, you know, they've experienced, you know what I mean? And they've obviously played a lot more music than you have, you know what I mean? And so I want us to all grow together and mutually benefit one another. You see what I'm saying? In ways that, you know, maybe my younger perspective can kind of bring in the 80s and the 90s, whereas maybe they're kind of working more from the 60s and the 70s, you know what I mean? We're kind of blending all these perspectives. And it's pure fun. These guys are, we call ourselves the Wild and Quasy Quasars. So I can't even say it, yeah. And we all, I said, like I told some people, I had to find some band members that were just as weird as I was. And they definitely are. They qualify. Yeah. So we just have great fun together. You know, we jam every week. We are looking to book more gigs. So promoters in Atlanta of rock bands, please consider the Quasars. We definitely can get down, I believe. We plan to get down. So, you know, but yeah, the other band is real cool. We do a blend of covers and originals, but mostly originals because I am a songwriter also. But we touch on a little adapting Prince here and there and stuff like that. Even a little Led Zeppelin. I do like Led Zeppelin a lot. So that's us. You know, we're a trio. We collaborate with other amazing musicians like Chatman is a very well-known guitarist in Atlanta, and he's been so gracious as to jam with us at Northside and stuff like that. So Atlanta is a very it's the volume that's different. You know, I always iterate to people, I didn't go to Atlanta to say F Greensboro, you know, y'all suck. You know, it wasn't that. A couple of reasons, you know, I did want to expand to have a bigger stage. And Atlanta definitely provides that. The quality, in my opinion, isn't really any different. North Carolina is an amazing arts place. Lots of great post-secondary music programs. I'm a product of one of them, you know. And so it's great, but as we all know, is we don't have any cities the size of Atlanta. We just don't, you know. And so there are a lot more scenes there, you know what I mean? Lots more places to get into. And it's a bittersweet thing, you know what I mean? Because it can feel overwhelming at times. I'm not going to lie, you know, being a full-time teacher and having your time taken up in that aspect, it can be overwhelming. Like, where do I start? There are all these places and venues, and you know what I mean? Well, what's a good place to get started? So that's why I'm just kind of throwing it out there for all the promoters in Atlanta. So whoever you are, let's match up. So, but we do have a couple of shows coming up in Atlanta, December 14th. We'll be at Northside Tavern at the Christmas Toy Drive Festival. I just found out a couple of days ago we'll be going on about 3 p.m.
That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. It's an all-day, all-night thing. And then in February, we don't have a date yet, but we're going to be working with another amazing trio in Atlanta, kind of getting more into the East Atlanta scene. So there'll be more details on that coming later. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Well, you also are an educator as well.
Yes.
Since you do play guitar and you teach guitar, that sort of thing, I want, in lieu of a game, I will get a lesson today, and it's called How You Do That. And I want you to tell me how to play guitar because I don't know. I'm pretty awful at it, as a matter of fact.
May not be able to do it in a conversation, but we can certainly get started.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you what I can do, what I've learned so far. It's just a little...
Ode to Joy. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, but you get it. Yeah, I can play that.
Now, one place to start, I noticed on your ba 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 ba, and it started to give what I call the clangy sound, which is not a full tone note, of course, and it's not exactly what we want.
Yeah.
But one little technique thing to start with is that when you're wrapping your hand around, and we do want to do that, and have a lot of guitar teachers know this. You have a little space there, because if the front of your hand is resting on any strings, you're going to mute them. You know, just like in violin, you're really familiar with string stuff. And so the thing about it is, though, you want to try to place that focused pressure of your fingertip in between the lines that separate the frets. Okay. And yours, I noticed, landed kind of on a line, and that's when you get that clangy tone. So. Okay, so you notice how all the times I'm landing in the middle of the fret. Yeah, exactly. So that's the first piece of advice, but already having a sense of pitch and melody yourself, that's a great start. Because I work with students sometimes. I have one in particular in my guitar group right now who, because of her... I won't say, I'll just say she hasn't had any in-depth musical experiences. And so I'm not only working with the mechanics of guitar for her, but building the training of her ear. You know what I mean? Like, for example, her E string can be totally flat, to the point of being a D, and she won't really hear it. You know what I mean? So we have to fix that first. But, you got to have that down. So let me see, what key were you starting in there for Ode to Joy? What note did you start on?
This is how they taught me in the video.
Oh, I see. Okay, it's E. Okay.
E.
Okay, I see.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Okay. I don't really know what a guitar actually. So I know it on piano.
What's a chord?
Okay, a chord. Good question. Yes, exactly. That's where we start usually with guitar, as a matter of fact. And it all depends on what kind of, method you're working with. The two big, perspectives on guitar: classical guitar and popular guitar. I definitely teach popular guitar. I pretty much have zero experience in classical guitar, besides having some friends at Carolina who were classical guitarists. But we all know how antisocial everyone is there, so it's not like we ever got together and jammed on it. So but anyway, so a chord in simple music terms and most basic level is just more than one note being sounded at the same time. So really there is almost an infinite combination of chords that can be made. But the reason you have these certain chord vocabulary that you start with is that in popular music, surprisingly, as much as people love to compete with genres and artists, in American music and European music history, most of the chords are the same. You can find parallels in what you just played, Beethoven's Ode to Joy, and I don't know, Migos' latest song. You see what I'm saying? There really are tonal and structural parallels that you may find, you know what I mean, in terms of how music is used. So what it is in our Western tradition of music, we just have certain chords that tend to comprise the structure of our music. You see what I'm saying? And so the two basic categories are major and minor. And so, you can just start with just about any chord, but on guitar we have a set of chords called open chords. And what that means is that some strings are open, literally, you see how we have some strings where I'm not fretting, but they're a part of the chord. Now, not open chords would be bar chords. So these are bar chords.
I'm just like,
skip that a little bit. I always tell you one thing to make my students feel better is the same thing happens in my guitar lessons, where I'll play them an example to encourage them. And really what ends up happening is, I can't do that. Exactly. And so it's really, I have to remind them, I've been playing for about 18 years now. When I tell people, just to even be funny, I'm like, I hope I don't suck it completely if I've been playing that long. That's the way where now you really have tools that you can kind of go on your own with YouTube, because they can show you the chords like I just did. They'll sit there and tell you every finger and what the chord is, and then you can kind of know how to adjust to get better at it.
I just got a free lesson from Carla R. So boom.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I tell you what, we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come right back. We're gonna let you play and do your thing, so everyone can see all this greatness that I was talking about earlier. So we'll be right back. Okay, hey, and we are back with Carla R. Really quickly, Carla, where can we reach you?
This is Carla R and the Quasars now, and you can reach us at reverbnation.com/Carla R Live. That's how you can reach us right now. In a few weeks, we will have a video of a live performance, and we will create a brand new YouTube channel alert coming up, the Quasars. So we will keep you in touch. You can catch us on Facebook, Carla R the Quasars, and find out what's coming up next. Lots of exciting stuff.
And you all know you can always reach me at Twitter and Instagram at OfficialKingIan. Email me at OfficialKingIan@gmail.com. And you can hit me up on Facebook, like the Facebook page, The Ian Hairston Show. So actually here playing our jam of the week, Homeostasis, here it is, Carla R.